The online e-learning modules show you how to use the Rainfall to Pasture Growth Outlook tool and understand main concepts and outputs used in the tool. The Rainfall to Pasture Growth Outlook tool's Outlook graphs show you the likely 3-month outlook for rainfall, soil moisture and pasture growth in your area. Information from these graphs can help you proactively manage pasture feed supply and animal demand forward from today by knowing what the likely impact of climate on pasture growth for the coming months might be. For all Outlook graphs, the green line to the left shows historical weekly values for rainfall, soil moisture or pasture growth for the time period you've chosen. Rainfall is measured in millimetres, soil moisture and pasture growth values are measured as indexes. Indexes were explained in Module 3 Annual Patterns. Please take a look at Module 3 if you haven't already. The Outlook portion of the graph refers to the 3 months beyond the most recent week. A pair of vertical and horizontal guidelines show the date and value of the most recently available data. This will change from week to week as new data is added. Percentile bands for the green line historical values are shown using the 90th, 50th and 10th black dotted lines. Percentiles help you compare the current year's progress to historical trends. If you haven't already done so, see Module 3, Annual Patterns, for an introduction to percentiles. The Outlook portion of the graph between the 90th and 10th percentiles is shaded grey to make it easier to compare with other features on the graph. The graph also displays a different percentile band shaded in red, using data from only years listed below that have the same sea surface temperatures as those recorded for the current year. Sea surface temperatures in the Indian and Pacific Oceans are a major driver of rainfall. This is why years with similar sea surface temperatures tend to have similar rainfall patterns. So the dark red shaded percentiles give a somewhat different perspective of outlook scenarios because it uses years with similar sea surface temperatures. When the percentiles from all years are laid over the top of the red percentile band from similar years, you end up with distinctive dark red, pink and grey patterns. The lighter pink area refers to an overlap of dark red and grey and is good to refer to for a more precise range of possible outlook scenarios. You can either view the data starting from January the 1st, like this graph, or you can choose the last 9 months. It is probably best to use the last 9-month graph early in the new calendar year. There are 2 types of pasture growth outlook graphs showing either weekly or accumulated index values. Fluctuations in weekly graphs show you that pasture growth is usually highly variable between weeks. The accumulated index graphs show the total value, that is, the total rainfall or pasture growth indexes, which has accumulated from the chosen start date to the most recent week. Because the accumulated graphs add all weekly values up, you can easily see sharp increases where there has been an accumulation of favourable growing conditions in certain weeks. The bottom of the Outlook page shows a guide to help you interpret other colour combinations. The relative position of the dark red shaded areas to the grey shaded areas in the 3-month outlook show what you might expect to see in the coming months. In this example, current pasture growth up to the current week has been tracking poorly at mostly near or below the 10th percentile historical. The outlook shows some improvement, however. This is indicated by the dark red shading appearing above the pink and grey, meaning that higher pasture growth is more likely based on current sea surface temperatures compared to all years in the historical record. However, if you look at the black dotted percentile lines, which suggest that even with the best possible scenario, accumulated pasture growth is still likely to be below the historical median over the next 3 months. The grey shading over pink and red here shows that lower pasture growth is more likely in upcoming months based on current sea surface temperatures compared to all historical years. Like the previous graph, the possible outlook ranges here are also below the median or 10th percentile. You can find the Outlook pages on Rainfall to Pasture Growth Outlook Tools Station Overview page, or by using the Rainfall, Soil Moisture and Pasture Growth menu options at the top of each page. Note, you need to have selected a station first. Each Outlook page contains a graph, instructions on how to read the graph, a monthly rainfall comparison table, and tabs for changing the time period. This concludes the Rainfall, Soil Moisture and Pasture Growth Outlooks module. For more information regarding specific resources available through the Rainfall to Pasture Growth Outlook tool, refer to the other modules in the Rainfall to Pasture Growth Outlook tool e-learning series or visit rainfall.mla.com.au/help.